or the Rift Herald really quick. Like, there's many different things that you can do with the ultimate. Here, I'm just going in, no fear, as you can see. I have my ultimate again. Look at me. Look at how much... Look at this. Look at that damage. Oh, look at that. Wait, just look at this. Look at the damage. Go. 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 Yes. This build is insane, guys. Oh my god. Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, I have the most disgusting Nasus build that you guys are ever gonna see. It's crazy. I mean, you guys know me. I always want to make Nasus meta, and although Nasus sucks, like, I'm not gonna tell you Nasus is really good. If picked into the right draft, this is the same story like every video, he is good. And especially this build, guys. This build is actually insanely good if picked into the right draft. I'll talk more about the right draft in the build part of the video. There's timestamps in the description if you just want to skip to the gameplay immediately. So it should be obvious to you guys, right? This is the armor build, but there is more to this build than you think. First of all, this build is going to give you near, like, I believe around 300 or 350 armor. Between 300 and 350. Now, can you imagine how much damage reduction that is? That's a lot of damage reduction. And the beauty of this build is it perfectly fits with Nasus. First of all, Iceborne Gauntlet. It gives you max mana so you can spam your abilities. 50 armor, 25 ability haste. This 25 ability haste is really important as well, so you can really spam your abilities. And then, using an ability, using an ability causes the next attack used within 10 seconds to deal bonus physical damage, blah blah blah. You create the icy area basically, right? And this icy area deals physical damage to the enemy. And the icy area becomes bigger and bigger the more armor you have. So now, you know, in the very late game, it's huge. Like, the icy area is going to be huge. And okay, let me just tell you more about it. So the boots that you get, of course, the plated steel caps. More armor, more damage reduction. You only build this build against full attack damage compositions. Now, second item, here comes the secret little item that's beyond broken on Nasus in the right situation. I'm saying in the right situation because, of course, in the normal game, it's not always going to work, because if the enemy has magic damage, this item loses a lot of value. But if the enemy only has attack damage champions, especially champions that want to have attack speed, you know, like Jinx, Jinx Graves, Jhin reducing everything, like everything, basically every champion, even Yasuo, that every champion uses attack speed. So this item is going to allow you to have like an aura around you that constantly reduces the enemy's attack speed by 20%. So on top of being unkillable, the beauty of this build is you're going to debuff the enemy. Debuffing meaning you're going to be debuffing their attack speed, all of them. Like, it's not like the Random's Omen where they have to hit you to reduce their attack speed. As you can see, reduce the attack speed of enemies when struck by an attack. This one just reduces it, and it's a pretty big aura. I've done tests on this, it's really big. Third item, you go for the Thornmail. Yet again, like, just insane armor. Beauty of Thornmail as well, it synergizes with having a lot of armor. As you can see, when struck by an attack, deal 25 magic damage plus 10% bonus armor. You're gonna have around 350 armor. So every time an enemy hits you, they're gonna take like 55 magic damage. That's a lot of damage, right? And you're gonna be applying the grievous wounds. So, no, really solid item. And now for your fourth item, you go for the Deadman's Plate. You can build the Deadman's Plate as your second or third item if you need the bonus movement speed. But basically the reason that you build the Deadman's Plate is because it's literally the perfect item to have on Nasus. So yet again, it gives you armor, it gives you HP, just gonna make you super tanky. For your last item, you do not build armor. The reason is it's not worth it. There is like math behind it. If you buy 5 armor items, it's not worth. Like, you're actually much tankier if you build 4 armor items and like a HP item, like Steric's Cage. So you're much better off going for a Steric's Cage than going for yet another armor item, even if the enemy is full attack damage. Keep that in mind. For the enchantment that you go is very likely Stoneplate to become unkillable, right? But you can go for the Protobelt or the Glorious Enchant if you want to catch up to the enemy. But basically Stoneplate, like, you're going to be truly unkillable with a Stoneplate. For the runes, you go for Grasp of the Undying. This is the perfect rune for Nasus. Yeah, what am I supposed to tell you? This is just the Nasus rune that you need. Basically, allows you to take some traits in your lane, and I'll show you during the gameplay part how to take those traits. Second rune, you go for Triumph. You're gonna have quite a lot of HP. You're gonna have, you're gonna be super tanky, and in team fights, when your team gets kills or when you get kills, you're constantly gonna be regenerating HP, which is really, really good because it's gonna make you even tankier than you are. Here, you actually do not go for conditioning, you go for Hunter Titan. You need that tenacity. You really, 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 really need it. So it's going to give you 100 bonus health in the late game, which is going to be very effective health. And what I mean with effective health is the health that you get has armor, right? So the more health you get, it's better than getting health with no armor, if that makes sense to you guys, right? So you're gonna get a lot of health from it and the 20% tenacity in the late game. Really, really powerful. And then for your fourth one, you go for Sweet Tooth, because Sweet Tooth is broken. Nah, you really need Sweet Tooth as Nasus, basically. For your spells, you go for Flash, and here it's situational. You can either go for a Barrier or Ghost. I personally, like, this is just personal preference. I never, like, I almost never go Ghost. I just don't like Ghost, but it's good on Nasus. It's actually really good on Nasus. Barrier is good to survive the early game. So yeah, enough about the build. Let's now get into the gameplay, guys. All right, on to the gameplay. Before we hop into the gameplay, I'm giving away 10 legendary skins. All you have to do to enter is put down a comment under this video and on some other videos to increase your chances. So take a look at the enemy composition. I was the last pick in the draft, and I'm already, like, I'm literally already gonna start talking about drafting, because I hate, like, I have so many dumb people saying, look, HellsDevil is saying Nasus is broken, blah blah blah. I'm not saying Nasus is broken. I am saying he's broken if picked in the right draft. The problem is, however, you will almost never have the right draft. So there's two scenarios that there would be a right draft. The first right draft is if the enemy doesn't have a lot of sustain damage. What I mean with that is they don't have a lot of damage over time. So champions like Orianna do really well against Nasus. Champions like Jinx do really well against Nasus. Vayne does really well. Lucian does really well. But champions like Jhin absolutely suck against Nasus, because Jhin deals burst damage, right? Champions like Zed suck against Nasus. Champions like Evelynn suck against Nasus. I really want you guys to understand this part, where Nasus is a tank, and Nasus is really good against champions that don't deal sustain damage. The second good draft for Nasus is if the enemy is full attack damage. You can pretty much pick him in any draft if the enemy is full attack damage, except for Vayne. And that's a very big exclamation mark. You never want to pick Nasus into Vayne. Vayne absolutely destroys Nasus. So this current draft, they're full attack damage, but you have to switch up your build if you're against full attack damage. Go for this disgusting build that I made, guys. Let's take a look at what happens here. Come on! Look at that. That's just sad now, isn't it? Oh, now I have to run. Yeah. But what was I saying? I actually don't remember what I was saying. Okay, I'll just talk about something else. Their full attack damage, that's why this build is gonna work. And this build, guys, oh, I told you, Iceborne Gauntlet, Frozen Heart, Thornmail, and then Deadman's Plate. It's just, like, beyond broken in the late game. You're gonna be unkillable. And your big power spikes really come with the Iceborne Gauntlet. This is your first power spike, and although this power spike is actually not gonna be, it's not even nearly as big as the Trinity Force, because the Trinity Force power spike is much, much bigger than the Iceborne Gauntlet one, because Trinity Force gives you way more damage. But it's still quite a substantial power spike. But where the real big power spike comes from with this build is after the Frozen Heart. If you have Armor Boots, Iceborne Gauntlet, and Frozen Heart, that's the massive, massive, massive power spike. Like, if you have that, you really want to be fighting with your team, unless of course your team is getting wrecked. If that's happening, then you need to keep farming, because even though you're not going for Trinity Force, this build still relies on his stacks. You still want to be stacking up as hard as you can, because Iceborne Gauntlet deals more damage when you stack. So you really, really want to be stacking up your first ability regardless. It's the same as the Trinity Force build. So if you have to, you can still abandon your team to stack, but keep in mind, with these two items, and then after that, you're gonna get tankier and tankier. You can fight, basically. I'm not saying you have to, but you're gonna be strong. You can fight. So when you play against a Garen, by the way, you kind of always need a barrier because your barrier can just easily block Garen's ultimate. So he shouldn't be able to kill me because I have a barrier anyways. If he uses his ultimate on me, I should be able to block it with my barrier. Let's see. Oh, interesting. The way that I built it this game, I think, is I went for a sheen and then I'm going for armor boots. So that's a thing that you can do. You know, I'm not in. I think I wasn't going. I don't quite remember. Maybe I did buy an Iceborne Gauntlet, but you don't necessarily have to. If you need the bonus movement speed, you can actually buy boots and the sheen, but make sure you get the sheen. Here I actually realized I don't have to go back. I can farm up and get the Iceborne Gauntlet very soon because I'm very close to getting an Iceborne Gauntlet. All of my teammates just died, which sucks. I can't really do anything about it right now, as you can see. I am looking, however, I'm looking, okay, Dragon, should I rotate or shouldn't I rotate? As you can see, here I did decide to go for the Iceborne Gauntlet and Boots instead, because, yeah, I can finish them, so I'm doing it. But you can buy Boots if you want to, if you really need the bonus movement speed. Thing about Boots is, armor boots are actually very effective. It literally reduces damage you take from basic attacks by 15%. So if you're against enemy champions that have a lot of basic attacks, what? What? Okay, well, that was just a weird stuff there. But if you're against champions that have a lot of basic attacks, then getting those boots very early on can be valuable. But here we go. As you can see, the Iceborne Gauntlet. This is where the fun begins. As you can see right now, it's still pretty small, but it's fine. Here I see the Yasuo, but I chose to fight. I chose to fight. Look, I literally saw the Yasuo, but I chose to fight and I got punished for it. So let me tell you exactly the reason why I chose to fight. Limit testing. I literally wanted to see whether or not I would be able to fight that. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to give you all the information that I'm giving you right now. Basically, I was just testing out how strong I would be with an Iceborne Gauntlet and my ultimate. And the answer is not that strong. That's why I told you earlier on in this video, your power spike is okay with the Iceborne Gauntlet, but it's really not big. But your real power spike comes with the Frozen Heart. This is the real mega power spike. I'm not quite sure what a level 7 Draven is doing in my lane, to be honest. That's also the concern of this game. We have a Draven that's not really doing anything. Wow, our Morgana is actually really good though. Okay, I want to kill him. I'm tanking for the Draven, as you can see. But I got the kill because I wanted the kill, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just being pretty selfish here. I really like the selfish Nasus playstyle, but I want to warn you guys though. This selfish playstyle that I have, which is not rotating to my teammates, letting them all die, and farming myself, your teammates need to be understanding because it works. It works. This is basically the most efficient way on how to play Nasus. Look at what I'm about to do here, by the way. I think I'm going to use my ultimate. There we go. So the reason that I use my ultimate here is I want to farm. Ultimate reduces the cooldown of your first ability by 50%. So what I'm doing here is I'm just quickly clearing out their jungle. Is it worth my ultimate? Yes, I would say it is. Because I just got like 300 gold from their jungle. I denied the enemy the blue buff. And I took the big fat brown guy. So I'm really feeding myself up. And my ultimate only has a 50-second cooldown right now. So yes, it is actually worth in that scenario. Here I am running away, however. I cannot run away. Because I didn't have an ultimate. I would have probably still died even with my ultimate. Look at the Morgana though. This guy is on fire. But yes, in a scenario like that, using your ultimate to take the enemy, like to clear out an entire jungle, or to push a turret is worth on Nasus. You don't necessarily, you don't necessarily have to use your ultimate just to fight. As I said, you can use it to farm, and you can use it to push turrets as well. These are two things that you can do. You can even use it to take the dragon or the Rift Herald really quick. Like, there's many different things that you can do with the ultimate. Here, I'm just going in, no fear, as you can see. I have my ultimate again. Look at me. Look at how much, look at this. Look at that damage. Oh, look at that. Wait, just look at this. Look at the damage. Go. Yes! This build is insane, guys. Oh my god. I didn't even have my frozen heart yet. I'm really trying to not scream right now because it's 1 a.m. But oh my god. You see this build right here? This is the golden part of the build. This is the big power spike. Like, look at my armor. 260 armor. 260. Enemies don't have any armor penetration yet. At this stage of the game, enemies are not gonna have any armor penetration yet. And like, I'm literally unkillable right now. I should be unkillable. I have my ultimate. I have 260 armor. I have Stoneplate enchant. But did you see my damage as well? That is the whole fun part about this build. You only wanna do it against a full attack damage enemy, which I know is not gonna happen often. But if you find that opportunity, you need to think, hey, this YouTuber called HellsDevil told me, pick Nasus and go for this build. I really want you guys to remember this one. I think I'm gonna limit test here again. I'm gonna test whether or not I can dive the Kai'Sa. No, okay, I didn't test it, never mind. I should have actually tested it, because now I don't have the answers, of course. Yeah, even though you still deal a lot of damage, you know, keep in mind it's not as much as before, but you're way tankier than the Trinity Force build. That's the beauty of this build. You're gonna deal way less damage, and you're gonna push turrets way slower. That is why I'm kind of forced to use my ultimate right here. And I'm pushing the turret, and I'm gonna continue taking the enemy jungle with my ultimate. As you can see, I'm not wasting my ultimate. Oh, oops. Yeah, I'm taking the blue buff. You see what I'm doing? I'm just constantly utilizing that ultimate to farm. I was taking turret and I'm farming. I'm not saving my ultimate for every fight. No, of course not. Why would I? Why would I save it if I can just use it to take farm or take turrets? But you can clearly see that I'm dealing much less damage than the normal Nasus. The normal Nasus with a Trinity Force would be able to clear the jungle like super fast. Super fast. The Iceborne Nasus is still pretty fast, but of course not quite as fast. So you can see I just cleared out their entire jungle again. You see that? And by the way, look at this. See that above Garen? If you see that icy thing, you know, the icy thing above their heads, it means that the effect of Frozen Heart is on them. So you can clearly see whether or not you're reducing the attack speed of the enemy. Just look above their heads, and if you see the Frozen Heart sign, you know, if you see that blue sign over their head, then it means that you're reducing their attack speed. And you will actually see that the radius is massive. This, by the way, you see how I'm taking these minions? Look at that. You see how I'm taking that jungle, this one? You see this jungle? The way that you can clear it with this build is way more efficient than the Trinity Force build. The reason is Iceborne Gauntlet deals AoE damage with your first ability, guys. What does that mean? When you last hit a minion, or sorry, when you last hit the jungle there with your first ability, if the smallest ones are around, they're all gonna get killed at the same time. So, and yes, you get the stacks from all of them, by the way. If you were asking, yes, you get all of their stacks. So here, okay, here my team is, like, all of my teammates are dead. I'm really choosing to sacrifice my team for myself here. Now, again, you ask yourself the question, is it worth or not? Because, like, okay, it is worth. Obviously, it is worth. But is it worth getting my teammates tilted over this? That's the real question. Like, it's stupid that I'm telling you guys this, but that's seriously the real question that you should be asking. Like, Xin Zhao is now saying top with us. I'm probably gonna say right now I will, because this is the perfect moment to go. I said soon, yeah. So I'm trying to indicate to them, guys, just relax a little bit, give me some time, and Morgana asks for my stacks. 372 in 12 minutes with the Iceborne build. That is absolutely huge. It's how much armor was that? I didn't see. How much armor did I have? I actually didn't see, but you guys saw. Look at this. I think I'm gonna fight now with my team because the Baron is spawning. Oh, you see all that ice around their faces? Ooh. Look at this. Just like, look at this. Look at the Kai'Sa damage. Look at Kai'Sa's damage. Look. The only one that can kill me is Garen. As you can see. Oh. 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 Garen, of course, can still kill me. Because the way that Garen works, he deals true damage based on my missing health. So they were able to get me to like 40% HP, although it took them a really long time, as you saw. Kaisa deals 0 damage to me. Like, Kaisa deals 0, but Garen was the one that killed me. And Master Yi is actually also a pretty decent pick into Nasus, because your second ability doesn't slow Master Yi, and Master Yi deals true damage. So, he's a bit annoying, but again, if it's a full attack damage composition, it's still worth it. Yeah, they're just taking the Baron right now. I have 361 armor. Oh my god. Yeah, and last item, Starrick's Cage. I have my Thorn Mill, now I go for the Starrick's Cage. I have all the armor that I need. Look at that icy area, by the way, guys. That icy area is gonna slow all of the enemies by 30% while it lasts. And I believe it lasts for like 1.5 to 2 seconds. So, in a team fight, you're literally gonna slow everyone. You're gonna slow all of the enemies. Look at this. Look at this damage. Look at me, look at me. Just look at me. How much damage am I taking? Look at this. Look at this. I'm not taking any damage. I'm just running right through them. I'm not taking any damage. Is it like, does it look like I'm having a crazy reaction to this? Because I'm really loving this. Personally, I'm really loving this. Look at this, it's just doing no damage. It's a level 13 Yasuo and he's dealing no damage. Look at this, I even He just can't kill me. He just can't kill me. I'm really trying to hold my voice here because, as I said, it's like 1 a.m. right now. But look at that. How is this? How is this balanced? So pick Nasus in the right draft. Go for this build and destroy the enemy. Let's take a look at how much damage I did and stuff like that. Not a lot. But still, I did my thing. I was farming for the majority of the game, and the later the game would get, the harder I would carry, I guess. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video just as much as I did, because I enjoyed this video a lot. And yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.